for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
Play action now. Fitzpatrick. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run with Drake, and he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Kenyon Drake, he was kind of underutilized last year when Adam Gase was head coach, only 7 starts, but now he's going to get a chance under new head coach Brian Flores to really showcase his talent. He certainly flashed his diverse playmaking abilities a season ago. 9 touchdowns, 5 through the air, and 4 on the ground. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now White lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And Cook has it, left side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seen
under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Muhammad Wilkerson sacks him that time, coming in off the edge.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Bridgewater. And he whips that one incomplete there. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score 6-7. Dolphins nothing.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. David Bass leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Bridgewater. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Bridgewater. His pass caught at the 4. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. It's coming this way. Here we go.
Fights off the defender. A very good gain on 1st down. 9 yards on the dump off.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
A first throw for the backup, Rosen. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Mike Gesicki, 85 yards. As they are now on the board here in the first half. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got it.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Robert Kimdichie in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, That's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's going to loft this one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 37.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Tackle made that time by David Bass.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Let's put that team on the bus. Safety screaming.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, that is a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Bridgewater looking end zone, but it's incomplete. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the 2nd quarter, so get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot, because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And out come the Dolphins now. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive. And
I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Rosen. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen. It's complete to Grant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Rosen to the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Got him in on the right sideline. It's Grant. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's a gain of 20. And the Dolphins first down.
Rosen now a perfect 6 for 6 since taking over. Can't ask for better than that. 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, as the first half is winding down, and the Dolphins are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Looking for White on the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Cannon Balaj. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, it's Rosen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now this throw caught left side. He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The big Tank Carradine with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Bridgewater to throw it. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer. Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A good pickup there, a 22.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's second down.
53, Mike, 53. Hey, tighten down. 53, Mike. Watch twist.
On second and 9, Rosen, his throw incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. They go play action. It's Rosen. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Cameron Jordan in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will get the football at their 20. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big run that time by Murray. 77 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation.
Ready?
Play action. It's Hill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. David Bass, his second sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. But now it's third and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Now Hill to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's his third field goal now with a ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Now Rosen on first down. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. The catches like that, that's what the Dolphins envisioned when they took Gesicki high in the 2nd round a season ago. He did have 22 catches as a rookie, but did not find the end zone. Certainly feels more comfortable wearing number 88, his old college number, after sporting 86 as a rookie. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On play action, Rosen. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super tough.
That's good for 28 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. This is Murray. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
52's the mic right here. 52's the mic.
Hill to throw on 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete. It was Minka Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run with Murray. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. The big Tank Carradine with a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Hill. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
36. Ready.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 26 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Now an important extra point here to maybe salt this one away. And it is good, and the lead will swell to 9. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Another miss.
Still on his feet and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Rosen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Grant. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Oh, no, he lost the football.
That's what I'm talking about.
So the the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on second and long. Rosen. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Throwing now is Rosen.
It never takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Hill. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Saints on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 19.
Watch Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Hey, Mike,
Hill now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got a lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And that miss should just about write a finish to this one.
Yeah, they needed 2 scores, and they needed that field goal there to be the first one and still give them an opportunity. But now, with the time left on the clock, I think this one's about finished.
To throw is Rosen, looking for his running back, and he's got him. They can't tap, and he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Sanders on for the extra point. down to 2. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And did the Dolphins get it? Yes. Miami football. A field goal will do it for them. They got the onside kick that they needed here. We'll see if they can do the rest.
Some teams are just not comfortable waiting to see what happens. Some teams like to force the action. That's exactly what we saw with this onside kick.
So Josh Rosen in the offense. Down by 2. A little under 40 seconds to go. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. Rosen saying, let's go, guys, faster. Clock is running here. Back to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer.